Hey, what's up everybody? So today I'm going to talk about the pigeon pose. Okay, so the pigeon pose is actually a derivative or derived from yoga. Okay, I'm going to show you the half pigeon pose, which we refer to as just the pigeon pose, but in yoga they call it the half pigeon pose. Okay, its purpose is for hip mobility, in particular external rotation, and this could actually help you with movements like your squat, or even injuries like the iliotibial band syndrome, or even sciatica as well. Okay, just to ease up the tension in that area. So, let me take you through what the movement looks like. Just bear in mind, we're also going to show you an alternative or a modification to this, so that if you struggle in the position, then you can also do that modification for the same benefits. Okay? And you also want to progress to getting into this point. So let's show you what it looks like. I like to get into this deep lunge over here, and then I like to bring this foot across and then drop the knee down to the ground. You want to get a nice right angle here with the shin and the femur, so your thigh to your thigh bone, and then from there you take that back leg back. Alright, so you want to shift back so that your hips go down towards the ground. If you find a more efficient way for you to get into this position, that's completely fine. Yeah, and then next point I wanted to just mention, if in this position with this right angle you get a little bit of niggleness in the knee, what you can also do is maybe shift this foot backwards. This will ease quite a lot of the tension that's happening, but it might put your knee in a slightly better position. If you're not feeling any problems in the knee, try get that right angle. Okay, that will cause an optimal stretch in the hip. Then from here, what you want to do is try to focus on pushing that chest forward. Okay, so you want to try to get a nice extension through the spine. Okay, you might find that if you're extremely tight in this area, you might be rounded here in your back, and the knee might be lifted up. Okay, so what you want to do is get that knee down and then kind of extend as much as you can, and you will feel that when you're extending in the spine, that stretch in your glute area is going to increase quite a bit. Okay, the intensity is going to increase. So those are just a few points, and then once you are confident, or once you are a little bit better in this position, you can start making your way down to the ground. I am not ready for that because you will see that my back will actually round as I lean over, and it's actually not doing much more than what it was when I was up there. Okay, so you want to first progress from getting your chest nice and high, extending that lower back to increase the tension over here, and then as you get a little bit better, you can start making your way down. Alright? Now we're going to move on to the modification, if for some reason this was a position you couldn't get into. So let me get out of this. Ooh, that was a nice one. Just to sum up quickly on how long you should stretch for, I get this question a lot. Minimum 30 seconds, optimal 1 minute. You'll find in some of our programs we actually program up to 2 minutes. This just gives the body time to adapt in that position. Otherwise you find you might even be tighter after you stretch if you only stretch for 10 seconds. So yeah, optimally about a minute, nothing less than 30 seconds. Now on to our modification. What you're going to need is a chair. You can even use your bed. You can use anything that's maybe between the knee and hip height. Okay, hip height might be a bit challenging to get your leg up. I'll show you now why. But anything that's somewhat elevated midway between your knee and your hip will be quite good to use. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to lift the leg that you're going to stretch onto the box. Okay, and you're going to form that same position we did on the pigeon pose in the ground. So you're going to lift that leg up, and you're going to worm that leg across like this, get that knee down. Then from there, again, same thing, back leg back. This might just be a little bit easier for someone to get into because it is elevated. And also in this position, it doesn't require you to focus too much on that spine. Whereas if you are on the ground, there's a lot more emphasis on that. Okay. Yeah, so obviously the higher it becomes, the more difficult it will be, because that's going to lift this foot a little bit higher with respect to the knee. Okay. And hence more external rotation. You should still feel that stimulus in the glute area over here. What I didn't mention in the other pigeon pose or in the floor version was that you might actually get a bit of tension in the inner thigh as well. That's completely normal, okay? It all depends on where your tightnesses are. Okay, so I think that sums up our pigeon pose. Feel free to drop a comment below if you have any questions about the movement. And from next week, we're going to be going through movements that are more stability based. So the last two, because we only started it last week really, the last two have been mobility based. So from next week, for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be doing stability based movements. Okay, so check us out next week for